So in the real time, they will provide the listing in this particular format. So once they provided the listing, you're going to have the number, the listing number, you're going to have it. And whenever they're given any kind of listing, the titles is very, very important. Okay, depending upon the titles only, you need to filter your data. Depending upon the titles only, you need to get the required amount of data. That's very, very important. Title which plays a vital role. So the demographics and baseline characteristics information they are expecting. Demographics is nothing but the subject level information. Baseline is nothing but when the patient has visited for the first time. So what happened now? Generally he will just give some kind of test for the first time. So those things which comes under the baseline. So along with the patient information, they are expecting some baseline characteristics. ITT is nothing but intent to treat. Intent to treat is nothing but the person who is ready for the treatment. ITT population wise, they are expecting the listing output. So patients treated with the irbesartan by like account to this where I wanted to generate a listing output for me. Now, then apart from that, this is the treatment group, site, patient, date of birth, age, gender, race, height, weight. These all the variables are there. So yesterday I clearly explained to you, if any particular listing which has been generated in this particular format, we need to observe carefully this variables comes under which data set. That's very, very important. Height, weight, which comes under one data set. Gender, race, which comes under one data set. Treatment group, and it's something like some other variables which comes under one data set. But we cannot say exactly that so and so, because if you just come down over here, if you just come to the data sets, if you just go up, okay, there is a TLFS data is there. First we'll delete this data sets completely. Okay, I don't know like what is the name I just kept. Okay, so now there is a TLFS library is there in this way. In the TLFS library, these are all the particular data sets are there. In order to generate this particular listing output, we doesn't require all the data sets. So first of all, what I need to do, I need to check which data sets are very, very helpful to me. So first, let's go to the demo. So in the demo data set, so unique ID, protocol, site, ID, date of birth, gender, race, visit date, these are all the particular variables are there. So now what I need to do, now I need to take the site ID, DOB, gender, race I need to take, and visit date also need to be taken. Why the visit date we need to take? Okay, let's see with one by one technique. So first of all, what I'm trying to do, from the TLFS library, whatever the data sets are available, all the data sets I'm just copying to the work library. First I used the libnum statement. I created a TLFS library. Let's make it simple. It's TLFS library. Library was created. In this, all the data sets were stored over here. After that, I'm just applying the proc copy. Proc copy in is equal to TLFS, out is equal to work. In the TLFS library, whatever the data sets are there, all the data sets which has been copied into the work library. So once you select and once you run the program, in the TLFS, whatever the library data sets are there, all the data sets which will be stored in the work library. Done. Then after that, what I need to do, I need to sort the data. Which data set I need to sort? Demo data set I need to sort. Go to the work library, go to the demo data set now. In the demo data set, what I'm trying to do now, in this one, there is a site ID is there is a DOB is there, gender is there, race is there, visit date is there, protocol is there, and unique ID is there. So this I wanted to store the data. So let's see what we can do with this. So use the proc sort data is equal to demo, out is equal to DM1. That means while sorting the data, sorted data should be stored into the new data set, not on the existing data set. Then I'm using by unique ID. Chalo, one data set which was sorted. Then automatically we got the DM1 now. Then again one more sorting we are trying to do for the another data set. Why? Because let's see. Okay. So first in the demo data set. So what are the variables are there? The variables are date of birth is a DOB. Fine. Next variables, what are the variables are there? First you identify the variable, then you can come to know. Now just double click on the data set. You can just see. Site is there. In the unique ID there is a protocol ID. Sir. This is a BH1503. 1503, it's a protocol ID. But 1001, 1002, 1003 is a patient ID. Okay. So now in the demo data set, this one also will come. Which data set? So DOB will come, and another data set is site ID will come, not site ID, unique ID. Unique ID will come, and what is another variable? What is another variable? Site ID. So site ID will come, and the next one. So just open the data set and just check it out now. Site ID. Now DOB will come. Gender, race, visit date. So just write on. So gender, race, and VS DTC. Visit date should come. Okay. Visit date should come. So in this way, it has to be generated. Now why I just taken these variables? Very simple. Now watch carefully. In the demo data set, these are the variables are there. Race is there. It is mapping. Done. So this variable is correct. Gender is there. Okay, done. Correct. Site ID, here it is there. Okay. In the unique ID, we are taking a part of portion. Like we will use a substring and we will pick only the sub characters only. 1001, 1002, 1003. So that sub characters I'm going to put into the patient. Okay. Now all the variables are mapping exactly. DOB also is there. So DOB also we can select from the demo only. So these many variables we are selecting from the demo only. Okay. Then visit date is there. Visit date is not there over here. But then if the visit date is not there, why I need to take the visit date? The point is that the age is not there. In your raw data set, age is not there. Age we need to derive. In the raw data set, if there is any, like in the particular SJTM data set or in the Adam data set, if the age column is not there, or if the particular raw data set, if the age is not there, so what you need to do now, you need to define the strategy compulsory. So what is the strategy you need to define? So you need to define the values in this way. If the age column is there, directly you can map it. But from raw data set we are taking to get a clear understanding, to get an overview. So here the age is there. So in order to calculate the age, the formula is that, so visit date, VS DTC, So this is a visit date is there, and it's under minus, then date of birth is there, DOB is there. So this is the formula, remember. So that means when these two dates which has been get deducted, then you are going to get the age. Otherwise you are not going to get. Divided by 365.25. So if you just calculate this calculation, automatically the age will be get created. So now what I need to do now, age is not there, we need to derive. This is one column, we need to derive compulsory. So that means we need to create a new derivation for this. We need to define it. This is one thing. Now there are other variables also. Is that now this all the particular things which is coming under the demo. Now you understood, I think so. Chalo, overview one more time. We will just go through with this. A listing table which is now fast. I am going to explain. A listing table which has been generated with the name called 16.1.1 and the titles which has been specified as the patient related information wise, they are expecting to have the listing output. It based on ITT, intended to treat population based patients to treated with the ibuprofen. And in that there are different types of variables are there, but there are so many data sets are there, and in that we need to select the particular data sets. In the data set we need to select the particular variables which suits to this listing output. Right. Now we have taken one demo data set. In that work library we have a demo data set. When we open the demo data set, we have seen a lot of variables over here, but out of which we finalized that site is there, and patient also we are taken from the unique subject ID by using the substring. Okay, date of birth can be taken. It's a direct mapping only, direct variable only. Gender also direct only, race also direct only, but height is not there, weight is not there, and treatment group is not there. Done. But in the same way, age variable is not available in the demo. So that is the reason what I am trying to do. So in order to calculate the age, we already have a commencement at the beginning of the classes how to calculate the age. To calculate the age, what we need to do, we need to define the visit date and also the date of birth. When we deduct these two dates, automatically the age will be get calculated. So while writing the program, we need to create a new variable with the name called age, and we need to apply the formula technique. Right, done. This is okay. In the demo, these are all the things are there, but we need to find another data set where the variables are there, height and weight. Now let's see. Just open this, look for the other variables now. Now open this. What is that? Dosing in height and weight dosing. Why it will be there? It will be there in the vitals, right? Vitals data sets you are going to have it. So look for the vitals now. Vitals is there. Now whenever you double click on the vitals, if you observe carefully, so this is the data set is there. Now in this data set, you need to observe. In this data set, you need to take the height, you need to take the weight. So these two variables should be taken, please. Okay, and apart from that, you need to take the common column compulsory with the name called unique ID also. And the rest of the variables are not important, not material, because the thing is, these variables are not specified in the listing output. But the point is that whenever we look at this particular listing output, so sad to say that along with the height, they are asking you to go with the units also. Height in centimeters, weight in kgs. So centimeters is there in separate column, and kgs are there in separate column that we need to define it. So at that moment, what you're going to do, you need to take the var 12 and var 14 also. So totally how many variables you are going to select over here? The total number of variables, number 1, the var, number 2, weight, number 3, height, number 4, var 12, number 5 is unique ID. So these variables compulsory we need to take it. Okay. So for that reason, what I'm trying to do now, right click on it. Click on close, right click on it, click on close. Now, let's see. Now, go to the vitals now. Let's see the vitals now. Don't target any other things. Let's see the vitals. You're sorting the data is called vitals, out is called VS1. In that we are selecting the unique subject ID, that is unique ID, height, var 12, weight, var 12, and visit date also I need to take compulsory, because if we are taking one visit date, the next visit date also, if it is there, then that date also should be taken, because while matching two or more data sets, compulsory the variable should be there. Then only according to that the records also will be get added. So that is the reason I am just taking these variables by multiple variables starting unique ID and visit date, and I am using the condition where unique ID not equals to null. Then you will have the doubt why the unique ID will have the null, because generally unique ID is nothing but the unique value should be there. But why the unique ID is having null? Because whenever you open the vitals data set, in the unique ID there is some spaces are there. Like along with after two spaces the records are proper. So in that situation now what are you going to, I wanted to block this one now. So I wanted to remove this one now first of all. So for that what I am going to do, while sorting the data, this one, so where unique ID not equals to except the null values, rest of the variables should be taken. Now once you select and once you run the program, VS1 will be get created. Now whenever you double click on the VS1, so now overall information you are going to have it. But in this entire data set, if you observe carefully, the patient when he visited for the first time, he is just given the height and weight, but the rest of the records are not there. So in all the records, the same position is there. So in that case, what you will do, you need to capture the first record. Every group's first observation you need to capture. Every group's first observation you need to capture. Compulsory, it's a rule. So for that reason, what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply first data ID. So data VS2 set to VS1 by unique ID visit date if first data unique subject ID, unique ID. Now select it and run it now, automatically VS2 will get created. Now double click on it. Now look at this. So only the every group first observation which has been carried forward and one data set which has been get created. So that is the advantage over here. Okay, done. Now, but there is another data set also is that because in this one, have you observed or not, every variable is come across. Height and weight also we are taken from the vitals. Site and patient, DOB, age, age is a new variable. Gender, race we are taken from the demo. And treatment group we need to look for another data set again. So where is the data set exactly? Treatment group. So this is what population you are going to call. So if you double click on the population, there is an ITT is there, ITT population. Always the ITT population should be 1, it should not be 0. Because intent to treat is not ready for the treatment. If it is not ready for the treatment, how can you mention the start date and the end date? It's not possible. So that is the reason this record should be get emptied. The rest of the records should has to be taking place exactly. So in this way, where I'm going to declare the scenario, so we need to go to the pop data set and we need to take the ITT population. It's nothing very simple. If any listing output which has been given to you, find out all the variables, check the data sets, according to that you need to apply the conditions. So proxa data is equal to pop, out is equal to pop1, where ITT is equal to 1. That's it. And keep unique ID and ITT treatment group. Select it and run it now. Now once you select and once you run the program, then automatically pop will be get created. Look at this, pop1 will be get created. Now look at this. This is a treatment group. Treatment group which consists of two types. One is QW1 and QW2. That's it. And unique ID and ITT population is having only one only, because if you just open the pop, there is a missing values are there. So in the dates there should not be any missing values. So for that reason, what you are going to do? You'll just apply this scenario. So we sorted the 3 data sets. Now select it and run it now. We sorted the 3 data sets and finally we created. One is DM1, another is POP1, another is VS1. Done. Then after that we apply the first data variable. Then once it is completed, whatever the data sets which are sorted, on the data sets you are going to apply the match. So when you merge this one, now what happened? Vitals, POP, demo, all the observations will come closer. So that you can just do the analysis very easily. You can generate the listing output very easily. So merge DM1, POP1, VS2. So in this way the domains are there. So in the DM1, in is equal to A, in the POP1, in is equal to B, in the VS2, in is equal to C is there. So what is that exactly? Temporary variables. In means temporary variable. If A, B, C, if you are just writing in this way, what happened? So 3 data sets will be merged, then you are using by unique ID if B you are saying. What do you mean by if B? B table as it is, it should be holded, but why you taken if B? Because out of these 3 data sets, which data set is very, very important? POP is very, very important. Why POP is important? Because in the POP only you have the treatment groups. In the POP only you have the, what you say that, in the POP only you have the ITT population. Okay. So in this way it is there. Just select it and run it now. Once you select and once you run the program, DM POP will be get created now. Look at this now. This is your main data set. This is perfect data set to generate the listing output now. So now you got the unique ID, you got the protocol, you got the site, you got the DOB, you got the gender, you got the race, you got the visit date, ITT1 and the treatment groups and visit date and height and var 12 and weight and var 14. Because here I just used the key. Okay. So just go through with the coding. I have a company call. Just only give me for 4 minutes. I'll just come back and please don't mind. Just go through with this code one more time. Any doubts, you just ask me. Okay. So, so up to here we completed, right? So what we done? First we copied the data from one library to another library. We taken the demo data set. We copied the one data set to another data set. Sorry, we sorted the data set and we stored the data into another data set by using the unique ID. Again, I've taken the sort. In the sort, what I done? I've taken the population, POP pop. In the population, there is an ITT is there, and there is a treatment group is there. Compulsory, we need to take the common column with the name called unique ID. So while taking these three columns, we wanted to filter the data because ITT population should have only one only, not zeros. Zero should not be taken because they are not ready for the treatment. ITT means you intend to treat. Who is ready for the treatment? Only those particular subjects only will be specified over here. Okay. So except the zeros, only ITT population 1, only these records only should be get filtered. Okay. So for that reason, what I'm trying to do while sorting only, I am selecting the variables with the name called unique ID and ITT and treatment group. So now what did I know here? Where ITT is equal to 1, keep unique ID and also the ITT and also the treatment group. So finally, once you select the program, once you run the program, then what happened? POP1 is created. Whenever you double click on the POP1, unique ID, ITT and treatment group is there. In the ITT, there is a 36 is there because this is our main data set. Because why we call it the main data set? Because our main listing output which categorizes, which explains about the ITT only. They're expecting the listing output based on ITT only. So that is the reason this data set will take the main. Okay. Now, you just remember in your mind that ITT is POP1 is the main data set for us. Okay, done. Now we are taking the two data set. But height and weight is also is the right height and weight. Okay, and there is a units also is there in the listing output, CMS and kgs. Height should be defined in the centimeters and weight should be defined in the kgs. Height is having one values and units also will have another value. These units will be stored in the var 12, var 14. Height and weight separate columns are there. But these columns are there in which data set? Vitals data set. So now sort the data set, store it in another data set, use the keep, specify the variables, unique ID, height, var 12, weight, var 14, visit date. You are going to mention. Then by unique ID, visit date, account to the date wise, it will sort the data. Okay. Now after that, what I need to do? Where unique ID not equals to null. Except the null values, rest of the records it has to take. Why we are using not equals to null? Because in the vitals, there are two observations are missing over here. So that is the reason if I not to include these records, rest of the records will be perfectly done. So for that reason, what I done, just only I'm just removing the empty records over there. So for that I'm using where unique ID not equals to null. Finally, once I select and once I run the program, then VS1 also will get created. Now we have a accurate data. But the problem is that in this data, there are 3 times one subject has been visited. Now in the first time, they're giving the baseline values only. They're not expecting the remaining values. They're expecting only the baseline. Baseline is nothing but for the first time when the patient has visited to the test. So those information will be get categorized under the baseline. So that means when the subject first record, which seems to be the baseline. Okay. Now every group first observation I'm just carrying forward. Every group first observation. So for that, what I need to do, I need to use the first dot variable. So for that, what I'm going to do, set to VS1 data I'm just copying to the VS2 by unique subject ID, unique ID, visit data I'm just using. Now if first dot unique ID means automatically only groups first observation only will be selected and run it now. Once you select and once you run this one now, automatically VS2 dataset is created. Now whenever you just double click on it, only every single observation is going to have the complete information you are going to have it. Okay, first observation information you are going to have it. Then finally we got the information in this way. This is the data. Now after that, once it is completed, now we need to merge the 3 datasets in order to form a big dataset. In order to generate a listing output, we are going to take the input dataset with the name called the merged dataset we need to take. So data DM pop. So I'm just creating one more dataset, new dataset, merge DM1, POP1, VS2. 3 datasets I wanted to merge it. But if you want to merge the 3 datasets, so there should be a common variable, right? So first of all, what I'm trying to do, merge DM1, I'm putting into the temporary variable, in always belongs to temporary variable. POP1 you are storing into the in B, VS2 you are storing into the C by Unicode. If B, why I'm writing if B? B is having very important because ITT population information is there. All ones are there. But in this VS2, in this DM1, some extra observations also is there. God. Okay. So we are trying to merge the 3 datasets, and if you just select it and if I run the program, my DM pop will be get created. But don't ever try to forget. Some people, if they're not having the merge in a strong oriented, just very simple technique. In the DM1, assume that there is a 20 records are there. In the POP1, there is only 10 records are there. In the VS2, there is only 15 records are there. So now how many records it will be now? If I merge this datasets, how many records will come?
10.
Anybody?
10.
10 only. Because the thing is, in this VS2, it will match these records because you applied if B. B table will be as it easily will be holded, and this table matching records will be added to the B. This table matching records will be added to the B. It will counter the each and every record. Okay, 1001 is there. Yes, in this 1001 is there. Then it will add. 1003 is there. 1002 is there in this one. No, it will not add. Only the matching records will be added. So total 10 records you are going to have. So in such a way, we just define the program. Okay, only by basing on the title, we'll select the B. That's it. Very simple. So finally, now our DM pop will be get created. Now whenever I just open the DM pop, now in this way, you're going to get the data. Unique ID, protocol, site, DOB, gender, race, visit date, ITT, treatment group, visit date, height, VAR12, weight, VAR12. Good, done. At last, finally, we created one datasets, perfect datasets we created. Okay. Now what I need to do now? Now we need to select the variables which suits to the listing output. That is our main scenario. Okay. Now right click on it. Close now. First of all, I'm just applying the formats. Okay. Gender, wherever M is there, a male should come. F is there, female should come. Race, 1 should be Asian, 2 should be African, 3 should be American, 4 should be others. So select the proc format and run the proc format. Automatically format catalogs will be get created. Race and gender will be get created in this way. Done. Okay. Now it's our turn now. Watch carefully. Very, very important. Okay. This one you see. So first of all, what I'm trying to do now, just go to this one. Look at the site dash patient. Okay. Site to site column separate is there, but the patient is not there. Patient is there in the unique ID. In the unique ID also, the whole values you are not going to take. You are going to take the substring values. Like only the sub characters only you need to take. So for that, what you are going to do, you are just applying the code in this way. First unique ID. Substring of unique ID, comma 7. So whenever you just open the DM pop, you will understand. Here in the unique ID, along with the protocol ID, there is a patient ID also is there 1001, 1004. If you count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from 7, 4 means 1001 will come. 1004 will come. 1005 will come. 1006 will come. So now only in the unique ID you are capturing only the 7, 4 values. Okay. Total 7, 4 values you are just capturing. So for that, what I'm trying to do now, I'm just applying the substring of unique ID comma 7 comma 4 you are applying. Then after that, site underscore patient PT is equal to put of site comma Z3 dot you are just applying. So what is that? You are concatenating the two variables completely. Which variables? Unique ID and the site ID. Two variables you are concatenating, and while concatenating the two variables, compulsory there should be dash. Now finally, you are using the put and you are using the site underscore PT. Then you can ask me another question. Why can't we define why can't we define why we need to define the put function over here? Number one. Number two, why did we return the Z over here? Now let's see. So the important point is that, so first the point is, you see the number one point. The point is that first you are concatenating the two variables. Okay, you're concatenating two variables. Second thing is that while concatenating, check the two variables are in character or numeric. Now here unique ID is a character, site ID is numeric. Oh, so that means one is numeric, another is character is there. So according to this, what we find? One numeric and one character is there. So this is a problem now. If numeric and character is there, while concatenating, there will be a problem. Either you apply the two numerics or you apply the two characters. So that is the reason what we're trying to do. You are using the put function so that the site also can get converted into the character. Now character will be get combined, and finally it will be stored in the site underscore patient. For that reason, we are using the put function. Rule number one, rule number two, rule number three. In the rule number 3, if you observe carefully, okay, so why we are using the Z dot? Z dot is nothing but, generally if I just open the DM pop, in the DM pop only one digit is there. In the DM pop only one digit is there. But if you just go to the listing output, there are 3 digits are there. Site ID, 3 digits are there. So that means before the digit, compulsory there should be some values. So that is the reason only 1 digits are there in the site ID. So for that reason, what I'm trying to do now, I'm just applying in this way. If you write Z3 dot, what happens, you know? Suppose if you're not writing Z3 without Z, what happens? It will be 1, it will be 2, it will be 3. But if you just write with Z if you write, what happens you see? Okay. If you just write with Z, what happens? Over here, 1, 2, 1 only will come, but before that, it will add 0, 0. Then it will come with 0, 0, 1. And after that, it will be 0, 0, 2. And after that, it will be 0, 0, 3. So that means before the digit, it is adding 2 more digits exactly, 0, zeros. It is adding. That is the use of the Z dot. If you are not using the Z dot, the numerical values will be defined in this way. If you use the Z dot, then the zeros which is defining in this particular mode. Okay, done. Good. Now the next point. So this is a way of applying the technique. For that reason, we applied this scenario. So unique ID and the site ID, both variables are concatenating. While concatenating the variables, you're using the substring and you're using the Z3 dot, and finally you're converting them into the character. Finally, you're storing into the site underscore patient. Now the site underscore patient also will become the character only. Don't forget. Because character variable will be get combined, and finally it will create the site underscore patient will be character only. Done. Next one. Is this clear, or should I explain in one more time?
I have one question
Tell me, sorry.
regarding those jet values.
Mhm.
How we will know that? Let me see. So I couldn't.
By the listing output. By the listing output only. Z values you can come to know by using the listing values only.
Yeah, and then how we know there's there is, and like how we know that's that, how there is no, there is B or something like that, you know, like can we find resources for the SAS so that we can use this option or format? Because this is really new for me, like for Jet 3 that means 00. So
Okay.
so is there any list, can we find the list of those kind of shortcuts so that
No, don't look for the shortcut. That is the reason. You people are very clever. So that is the reason I removed all the specifications.
no,
Okay.
like it's really like
So see,
this was
really,
really
no,
new.
no, it's not like that because we need to see a lot of listings over here. Frankly speaking, there is a lot of coding to be done. A lot of codings are there in this one. So what are the things you did not see or what are the topics where you're going to expect? You will see the environment over here. So what I mean to say, without specs, if you're doing, after that I'm going to give the specs also, specs oriented also I'm going to give it to you. But without specs, you will get an imagination. Your thinking power will be completely different. So that
Oh,
means very simple, very simple. A simple concept is there in my mind. What is that? What is a concept? Very simple. In 2 minutes, I'm going to finish. Small children are your children. Your children once they join in the school, if they say A means apple, B means boy, C means cat. Okay. So that means A for apple, A for apple. So that means if you ask 100 people also in the school, in the class, they will say A for apple only. But some particular concept-oriented schools are there, they will not teach anything. So that
yeah.
means they will show the different types of environment they will create, different types of fields they're going to place over there. So then they'll say that, like, what is this one, what is this one? They used to say with the A, there are a lot of names they are going to say that. So that means now, if any person if I ask to any other person, they cannot say A for apple. He will use his technique, account to that mode. Then account to that, he will recollect the information, then he will explain all the different patterns. Here also the same thing. Here what I'm trying to do, if I given the specs, you will be habituated. So first forget about the spec. First to see the imagination, how far you have, how much information you're collecting from the datasets by yourself without seeing the spec. So once you do that, once you get an idea on that, then after that, once the specs is the specs, and this is a specs oriented will be there, very simple.
Okay.
I'll show you that. Okay, just look at this. This is a AE table. This is a spec. Have you seen this? This is a table. And this is a spec. And every point which has been included out here. So once you do this one, once you know these points, the rest of the tables you can do it very quickly. How many 17 pages are there? Every table which takes near about some 1 to 2 hours it will take. 1 to 2 hours max. One table. You can generate it. That's it. No, don't target it. Because max I will put an effort to you to give you the good and sound knowledge to you. So that is the reason I removed the specs completely because because I know exactly how the students will think. They're going to estimate. So that's the reason I removed. Okay. Anyway, so without Z you need to just specify this one now. So Z if you are specifying means 00 will come. If you are not using the Z, what happened? Only 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3 in that particular pattern only you're going to have it. And one more important thing. Okay. Sometimes what happens, 100, 1000, 10,000. Okay, 10,000 is there. Let's take an example now. Now there is a 10 also is there. Let's take an example. It looks like a pyramid oriented if you are not using the Z. But if you use the Z, what happens, how many digits are there over here? Total 5. So first 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Then Now here it will come 00100, and here 1000, and here 0100. Okay, now in this way 1000. See, now if any person who just ask which is good, obviously they will say that this is good, because before that they are saying that compulsory you need to have the zeros exactly. So that we need to understand, we need to think according to that. So this is an overall scenario for using this technique. One more thing, the last final point, the fourth important point, star mark I am giving over here, don't forget. Why I am just converting into the text point of mode, the only the reason is that if any text is there, if the text variable is there, the text variable can make the variable position either in left side, or you can do the alignments left side, right side, or center. You can define it. That is the advantage for character variables. If it is numerical variable is there, so the problem is that only the right side only you can define it, not more than that. No left, nothing else. So that is the reason always the characters conversion, it will be very good for the, especially for the listing output. Because what is the difference between a character and numeric? If any analysis if you want to done, any percentage calculations you done, then you will take the numeric. In the listing output, why you calculate the percentages? Why you apply the statistics? It's not required. So that is the reason maximum all the variables you will try to convert into the text format only, so that you can make the arrangement of the columns. That is the advantage over here. So that is the reason all the particular columns you're trying to convert into the character by using the put function. That's the thing. So is this clear? The 4 points is clear, right? Should I go to the next one now? Everybody?
So I have another question too. Sorry about interruption. So on Atom spec, so mostly it converted to numeric,
Okay.
right? Because for do analysis, right? For the listing part, we try to convert to all character. So that mean?
Don't say that all characters to convert into characters. That depends. Suppose that depends upon your listing output, the way you imagine by yourself. All the particular variables is there, but it's all the values are printed in the center mode, not at the left side. Center mode is their maximum. So in that case, so you need to look up the listing output compulsory, by which you need to check it out. Okay?
Okay.
Fine. Now next one. So this is okay. I'm just removing this one. Remember the pens carefully. Next one. The next one is that okay. The next one is that what is the next one? The age we need to define. The next one is age. So how do we define the age? How do we define the age? Because I already said that age column is not there. We need to define. So in order to define this age column, we need to apply the visit date and also the date of birth. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm just applying the formula. Visit date minus DOB divided by 365.25, and I need to round one decimal value. I need to round one decimal value compulsory. Okay? Because whenever you are dividing 7 decimal points, you are going to get it. 7 decimal points. Now you wanted to round it as only one decimal point compulsory, you need to have it. Because after divide compulsory, you are going to get more number of decimal points, you are going to get it. You want to have only 1 decimal point. So finally, age underscore D is equal to round off visit date minus DOB divided by 365.25 comma 0.1, you are declaring that, by which the age also will be get created. Next one. Next one is that we need to create the height and weight also we need to create. Why? Why we need to create? There is a reason behind it. Why we need to create? Because height in centimeters, weight in kgs. Conversions we need to do it. All the height values are there, but height values are not there in the centimeters. So height values you need to convert them into the centimeters. Weight values you need to convert into the kgs. Every time when the height and weight values, if you want to do any conversion in any study, there will be a common formula for every time. 100 studies you take, 300 studies you take, 1000 studies you take, it will be same only. Centimeters and kgs formula will be there for this. So this is a code. Round of height into 2.54, then round the decimal value. Divide is there, or into is there, some dots are there. Compulsory you're going to get some exponent, like what do you say that some decimal values you are going to get it. So height into 2.54 comma decimal value. So round I'm just using, I'm storing into the height underscore d. But the point is that in the height column, if there is any dots are there, the dot should not be taken into the consideration, because dot will not multiply. So that is the reason you are not going to take the dot. So except the dot, and the rest of the records it will multiply with 2.54 and it will be stored in the height underscore d. In the same way, if the weight not equals to dot, then weight underscore d is equal to round off weight divided by 2.2 comma 0.1 I'm just writing. So here, that means height will be calculated with the 2.54, weight will be divided with the 2.2. It's a common formula. Compulsory, you need to apply the decimal values, 0.01, 0.01. That's it. So by which what happened now? Here we applied for the site patient, and here we applied the age, and here we applied the height and weight. Okay, this is the formula we are going to apply. Next one, why we need to define the BMI? There is a smart question. This is why we need to apply the BMI. What is the reason behind it? There is one more logic is there, that if I minimize it, okay, let's see this one now. Now, in this one, when you observe carefully, there is a age is there, gender is there, race is there in one table. In another table, there is a height is there, weight is there, and there is a BMI also is there. Okay. Now you tell me. Now suppose, for example, Devi wants to create this summary table. Okay. So Devi wants to create this summary table, and Satish is writing the code for the listing data set. Okay. Now, but in order to generate this one, now you just imagine by yourself, just to think in such a way, you are also on the same track, Satish also on the same track. Satish is working with the listing, Devi is working with summary table. Satish is already created the data sets, already have all the variables with him, DM pop. All the variables are there. In this, what are the variables are there? All the variables are there except the BMI. Okay. Now the Devi wants to create the summary table. Devi also wants the same variables. One extra variable is there. BMI should be there. Now, so now Devi again should need to kickstart from beginning, or else whatever the data sets which has been get created by the Satish, that data set she has to take. So compulsory what happened now? The Devi, she will not create again from the beginning, from scratch she will not create. So what she will do? She will take the Satish dataset and she will use for the summary table. So what is that? DM summary table is the input dataset for the listing dataset for the summary table. That means listing whatever the dataset we created, that will be input for the summary dataset. You will not take any other dataset again. For every summary table, there will be a support listing will be there, compulsory. If this summary table is there, there should be listing should be there. You are not, whenever you are generating any summary table, you are not going to create your variables separately. Compulsory, there should be some code generation should be there for the listing output. And in that code, all the variables should be predefined. If according to the summary table wise also, you need to include the variables in the listing only, don't forget. Okay. So you need to include all the variables over there. Once included, then again what you're going to do? Now you will take the dataset and you will apply the summary table. That's it, very simple. So that means whatever the techniques you want to apply, you apply in the listing only. You create there only. You specify all the variables there only. Now once you created that dataset, you take as an input for the summary table. Then you generate the table, summary table. That will be brilliant because treatment groups are there only. Height is there only, weight is there only, and conversions also we have done, and kgs also we have done. BMI also we calculated there only. And apart from that, another table, age is there only, gender is there only, race is there only. In the 5.1 table, they are asking only on 3 variables. Again in the 16.1.5.1, they are asking on another variables as the same variable, but a different aspect. They wanted to have the report in this way. So this is the overall scenario. That means while writing the code, it's very, very important that you need to include you need to check the summary table. So that means along with your listing output, what I mean to say, my final conclusion is that if the Satish is now Devi completed. Devi, what she will do, she will not do anything. She will take the Satish dataset and she will implement in her code. She will just copy the dataset to another dataset, and after that she begin to write on the summary table code. That's it. Her duty is complete because already they developed. But Satish, from Satish end, it will be a bigger task. Satish has to check the listing output. In the listing output, how many variables are there, that he need to check. Again, he need to check the summary table variables also he need to check. Satish has to check. And he need to fulfill all the variables in the listing dataset. So now which person will have more work? Variable selection point of mode, Satish will have more work. Okay, but percentage calculations, everything, that work will be depends upon the Devi only. But variable selection point of mode, Devi, she will be free, but Satish will have a lot of work because he need to check his listing output variables, and also he need to check the summary table variables also. That means it will be somewhat burden will be there. But finally, you need to create all the variables. If it is not created, one or two variables are missing, then what happened? Then what happened? Nothing else. Again, you need to go to the listing code. You need to open the code. You need to insert the two variables. You need to derive the variables. Then after creating the dataset, then again the dataset again you need to apply for the summary table. So compulsory, this is the process what you need to do it. Remember. Clear everybody, right? Okay. So how you are going to calculate the BMI? BMI means height and weight we already defined. So what are the variable you created? On that variable only you will apply the BMI. Don't forget. BMI formula will be there, but if you want to calculate the BMI, here conversion, height conversion, weight conversion variable should be there, and it should be divided by 100 to the power of 2, and it should be round the decimal points with 3, not 1, not 2. So in this age we round the values with 1. In the height and weight we will round the values with the 2. In the BMI we round the values with the 3. Okay, according to that. Now after that we'll just run the program and look at the final one now. Now whenever this final one is created, your site underscore PT is created, fine. 001 1001, 002 1004, 005 1005, in this way it is there. Coming to the age underscore D, and coming to the weight underscore height underscore D. Okay, and coming to the weight underscore D. Age is there, age we calculated by using the visit date, DOB, done. Height we just applied with 2.54, weight we applied with 2.2, and finally we created the height and weight values. BMI we calculated with the height underscore D, weight underscore D, we applied, and we wanted the 3 decimal points compulsory. So in this way, where we are going to define the entire program, and we got the data set in this way. Now what? I'll tell you. So once it is completed, now the major point is that now once it is completed, you can add on the coding in this way also. It's up to you. Same thing, same only as it is. But here I'm just using else. I'm using else. Else height underscore D, put off height 3 comma dot. Weight underscore D, put off weight 3 comma dot. You're just writing. So either in this way you can add on, or in this way you can add on. So it's up to you. Okay, the concept is same. So then after that you need to calculate the BMI. Then you need to apply the DOB underscore D, put off DOB MMDD y weight 10 dot. So in the date of birth it will pick the MMDD y weight 10 dot. Then after that you are converting to the character, storing into the DOB underscore D. And also the race also we uploaded the format. So in the race we uploaded the race dot. Once we upload the race dot, a race each and every value will be get formatted, and it will be converted, and it will be stored in the race underscore D. So finally once you select and once you run the program, then automatically final 2 will be get created now. Final 2 data set is created. That's it. So our values has been formatted. Weight values are there. Height values are there. Age values are there. Site patient information is there. Treatment group is there. Gender is there. And date of birth is there. And the race is there. Done. Now what I need to do? Very simple. What I need to do? I need to add one more column over here. Watch carefully. Very, very simple. Very interesting point. I need to add a column. Let's take an example now. Okay. Whenever you just print this output, listing output, your page will end over here in your output. You can see in the output you can see only this many observations only because you're given the control. Only 25 lines it has to generate. Let's say 21 lines it has to generate, you specify. Now underline will come. Now I'm going to add one more column with the name called something like some Amit or anything I'm just writing. So now this column, what happens now, to check every record by record. Is there 1, 2, 3. So that means it will check each and every particular record in this way. It will come down, it will come down, it will come down. So once it is come down, so what you need to do, you need to apply the continue. So that means if this page is ending, so that means you need to say that there is still more observations are there, please check it out, we need to apply. So that is the reason record by record it will check. So when the 12th record or 21st record, if it is not, then what happened now? So it will give you the continued exactly. Then after that again the next line will be get continued. So the last final record, what happened now? Just it has to give only underline only, nothing other than that. Nothing should be get displayed. So further the last, then how the system is here you need to insert one. Last observation record, you need to insert with 1. So now till the 1 reached, it will be get specified every particular 20 like something around some 21 records. It will give the continue 21 records. It will give you every 21 records. It will give the like continue. But what is our concern after reading the 21 like 21 observations? Immediately it has to generate the continue. Then after the ending one, it has to give the back. So in this way, you need to define this one. For that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to apply the last record. So this is the one. Data final to set final to end is equal to EOF. That means end of file. If EOF, then last record 1. So what happens if this one? If you apply final to data set will be get created. Okay. Now whenever you just double click on the final to data set. So finally you will get the values in this. So perfect. Just will run this. Okay, selected and run it now. Look at the final to data set now. One more new column will be get created. All the records will consist 0 only. Last record will be 1. Last record will be 1. Okay, now right click on it and just click on close. So now you are just applying option center mode, it will be displayed. Option form care applying. Then LS is equal to 120 means 120 lines. It will take per a page, 30 characters it will take per a line. If any missing values are there, it will be replaced with a 0. Now you are using the columns. Proc report data is equal to final to no window means interactive window will not be opened. These are all the things you know, right? Okay. So what I'm trying to do now, in the columns, proc report in the columns, I'm selecting all the variables. Last rec, treatment group, site, all the variables I'm selecting. But what is the use of the dash over here? What is the main use of the dash? So dash is nothing but in the listing output, from wherever the variables you are starting, when the variables are ended till there, the line will be introduced. That is the advantage. Okay. Now you are using the dash. So for this many variables, it will give the underline exactly. Define last rec display. That means this display. That means this last record should be displayed, but it should not be printed. What is the symbol of form care? Okay. Symbol of form care is nothing but it's like stylish appearance. Stylish appearance means this is a universal one. No need to do anything. If you apply this pattern, automatically you will get a table structure. So like in this way, you are going to get the table structure. Horizontal, vertical in this way. You're going to get it. When the 2 points are intersected, I need to get the plus symbol. I need to get the plus symbol. Okay, in this way, I wanted to have it. So that means in the special characters oriented, I wanted to have all the things exactly. So that means these are all the predefined ones. This table style, structure, cuttings, everything. It's like default. So this one. But if you wanted to apply by yourself, so you need to use a form cap 1,7. You can just apply in this way. Form care bracket 1,2,7 I can just apply. Within the single comma, if I'm just writing exclamatory, dash, then after that plus. Now what happened, you tell me? First row wise, you are going to get the, which this one you are going to get it. Now the next one column wise, it's going to give you the dashes. And plus is nothing but the intersection point. Value to value in between, there should be a plus symbol. So for that, you are going to use a form care. Okay, next. Option center, option form care you are applying. Then after that, the define is nothing but the variable selection only, nothing else to be done. All the variables you are selecting. Treatment group you are changing to the treatment group, and the site patient you are changing to the site patient. DOB you are changing to date of birth. Age D you are changing, specifying to age star means split. That means to the next value. This value will come to the next line compulsory. Age star means this years will come to the next line. Date of birth means date of birth will come to the next line. So in this way you are going to have it. So age, gender, race, height, weight you are going to have in this way. Then after that, after displaying all the variables, then after that you are using the computer. What do you mean by computer? I already said that ending of the records. If the one is not reached, it will give you the continue. If the one is reached, it will give the underline. So compute after underscore page underscore left. If not last record, then count line is called to continue. That means one is not reached. It will, if the new pages come across, you need to use the continue. Okay, else it should be count line is equal to null. So that the else means once the one is reached, automatically it has to put the underline exactly. Line at the rate 15, I want another line. 15th line, I want to draw a line over here. So finally, once you use the end compute, and you should use the end com. So now, if you just run this program, then you'll understand. Titles you are applying, 4 titles, just select it and run it now. Okay, now in this way you are going to get the information. Now look at this. Continue. Because the observations has not ended completely. In a single page, you cannot generate more observations. Like in a single page, it will be very difficult to go with the length in a single page. So that is the reason, once if you just write on some controlling the output, if you written only 40 lines it will read, it will give the continued. Then the next page again what happened, it will give you the continue. That's it. In this way you can just define it. So otherwise you can just use the underline also here. That's up to you. So finally once you selected, once you run the program, then automatically final to data set will be get created. And finally once you run the program, look at this what happens. So perfectly you're going to get your listing. So this is the way. Now you can see the titles also. Listing 6.1, demographic and basic characters, ITT population, patient treated with this button. So in the same way, you can generate the listing output. That's it. This is all about the DM listing. So DM summary will take some time. So tomorrow also we'll see the listing portion only. Some more examples. You can do it. Is this clear? Any doubts in this? Everybody? You can ask.
It's quite clear.
Okay. Everybody, Amit, all the people. Devi, Amita, Veena, right? Okay, good. So you can just go to the form care over here. Very simple shortcut. You can add on the form care. But dynamic using is good. Don't use any other things. As Satish asked, I am just explaining to you. This is a default one, not to use anything. You should use this one only. But this fellow is not given. Not there. Actually, they removed, I think so, because it should be there. It's not there. They have been updated, I think so. Okay, fine. That's it. Fine. Hope so you got the concept right. Then I will send you this material and everything to you. You can go with the practice. Clear, everybody? Sure? ఇక్కడ ఏమన్నా డౌట్ ఉంటే కోడ్లో ఒకసారి అడగండి, నేను చెప్తాను. క్లియర్ అంటే నేను క్లోజ్ చేస్తాను. ఓకే, చలో, టేక్ కేర్. టుమారో విల్ జస్ట్ సీ విత్ అనదర్ లిస్టింగ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. Bye everybody.